Good morning. This is the weather hazard briefing for Wednesday, May 14th. Thanks for joining us. We have a continued prolonged period of clouds, precipitation, and cooler temperatures expected here the next few days and continuing into the weekend. So there will be a slight improvement as we get into Thursday and Friday, but we'll still have some clouds and precipitation around. And then by the time we get into the weekend, it looks like another potent area of low pressure develops across the Pacific Northwest, moves closer to our area, bringing more rain, thunderstorms, and colder than normal temperatures into the weekend. Taking a look at the satellite from across the western United States this morning, you can see a broad area of low pressure in place across the Gem State this morning, with some clouds and precipitation focused along the Continental Divide and extending down into the Arco Desert area this morning. That those clouds and precipitation will continue to move south and southeast over the course of the morning and afternoon, bringing more widespread precipitation across the area. As far as our weather risk outlook is concerned, basically the same thing we've been saying for the last few days. Rain and potentially some isolated thunderstorm chances basically every day. Today and Sunday appear to be the wettest days across the area, but we can't rule out any precipitation Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. So generally remains unsettled here for the next few days. As well as being unsettled, it remains well below normal as far as our temperatures are concerned, generally running about 10 to 15 degrees below normal for this time of year. As you can see, we're expecting temperatures today generally to top out in the mid 40s to low 50s across much of the area. Maybe get into the upper 50s across the Magic Valley, where there'll be a little bit less precipitation, maybe a bit more breaks in the cloud cover, but again, running well below normal for this time of year. Winds aren't too much of a concern today, generally 15 to 20 miles per hour across most of the area. As you head out into the Magic Valley, those will be a little bit higher over there, but again, with just rain falling, no frozen precipitation to worry about. Shouldn't have too much of an impact, and it's nothing overly unusual for our part of the country during the month of May. As far as precipitation amounts are concerned today, light precipitation. Most of the eastern half of the area can expect about a tenth to a quarter of an inch today, maybe some locally higher amounts depending on how things play out. Some of our higher terrain zones could get upwards of half an inch. But as you see across the western half of the forecast area, precipitation amounts are generally just a couple hundredths to maybe a tenth at best. The better focus for precipitation today will be across the central and eastern parts of the area. Overnight lows remain on the cool side with 30s and low 40s across much of the region. Some of our higher terrain zones will get below freezing. Tomorrow, things will improve a little bit. We'll see a little bit more sunshine. Still more clouds than sun, but things will improve a little bit, and those afternoon high temperatures do creep up a little bit. Again, running well below normal, but it is an improvement off their much colder temperatures that we're going to see today. Some of that precipitation will linger later tonight and into the overnight hours. Tomorrow, again, most of the precipitation will fall during the day today, but we can still see an additional tenth here and there across the eastern half of the forecast area, with some of that precipitation lingering into the day tomorrow. As far as Thursday night into Friday is concerned, very similar conditions to Thursday, so really not a whole lot of change. Things continuing again, as I've said numerous times now, running on the cooler side of normal. Friday looks to be probably our driest day. There will be like a weak upper level impulse that'll move north of the area. So we'll still have some clouds sticking around. Best precipitation chances look across the northern half of the area, across the Central Mountains, over towards the Continental Divide and into the Island Park area. Those amounts aren't overly impressive, a couple hundredths here and there. So, like I said, we can't rule out precipitation, but this looks to be the drier day in the next out of the next 5 or so. As we get into the day Saturday, this is what appears to be the warmest day. Sunday will be much colder than this. I'll talk about that shortly. But Saturday appears to be the warmest day as we get some south to southwest winds across the area ahead of the deepening low pressure system that'll come through later in the day, Saturday, and especially Sunday. So we could get some temperatures into the mid, maybe even upper 60s across the Snake Plain and Magic Valley, with some upper 50s, low 60s across the higher terrain. But as we get into Sunday, those temperatures will be noticeably colder as that upper low basically moves overhead. There's still a little bit of model disagreement as to exactly where it goes. But either way, it's going to be very close to the region. And that being said, our temperatures will be very cold on Sunday with 40s, upper 40s, low 50s expected. And even some of these low 50s that are forecast in the Magic Valley and Snake Plain may not even pan out, because there are certainly some model members suggesting that we'll stay in the 40s all day, basically across the entire area. So we'll see how things trend over the next few days. But either way, it looks rather raw, cold, cloudy day to end the weekend as we get into the weekend time frame. So, like I said, it's going to remain unsettled this weekend and into the early part of next week. This is kind of a look at our precipitation forecast amounts from the Saturday to through Saturday into Tuesday. Most of this will fall during the day, Sunday, and lingering into the first half of the day, Monday. But nevertheless, gives you a little idea of what we're expecting precipitation-wise. And you can see a lot of the area is going to see at least a quarter to a half an inch of rain, with maybe our eastern half seeing half an inch to maybe even an inch of rain over this 4-day period. So certainly lots of precipitation on the way, on top of the precipitation that we're already going to see later today. So that wet pattern is going to continue here through the rest of the week and into the weekend. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day.